You've found my little video diary here. Welcome. My name's Monique Preston. I'm an actress here in Seattle, and you probably haven't really seen my face before, and that's okay. I am definitely one of those actors that is not big household name, but that's okay because, fame is not really the name of the game for me. I'm here to make some great art and tell really good stories and hopefully make a sustainable living while doing so. And yeah, I've been doing it for a long time and I've booked some really, really great roles. And actually, I would say that so far this year has been one of those years where I have had some really significant things happening in my career, and they seem to continue to happen despite all that's going on in the world right now. If you're curious, I'd love for you to stick around, watch this diary of a non famous actor. You never know what might happen.
Dear Diary, I've only had the opportunity to model a handful of times in my career as a performer, and I'm always open to new artistic avenues, but I was never all that bummed that I couldn't do it. Like, I'm only 5 foot after all, and there are certain facial features that the modeling world tends to gravitate towards. I don't have them, and that's totally fine. But that being said, I have an actor friend of mine who does a lot of artistic modeling photo shoots, and when I saw her on set, I brought up how cool that was. She brought up at the time this Halloween themed shoot that was coming up, and she suggested I join her on that. The shoot was organized by Portrait Slam. It brings people together, different photographers and models at a local business to collaborate and challenge each other with whatever the theme is. They specifically named this session Hot Slam, and they asked the models to come dressed to match the theme. The theme was pretty broad, basically just dress spooky, and I actually almost didn't go because I got sick, but I was over the worst of it by the day of the actual shoot, and I rationalized that my dark circles would help the overall vibe of my look. So at first, I thought I would try dressing as one of my characters in a series that I eventually want to develop, but the costume pieces I envisioned for her were more on the expensive side, to say the least, and it would take a while to get to me, so I had to pivot at the last minute. And I was racking my brain the night before to figure out what I wanted to dress as. But then it occurred to me that I should look outside of the normal vampire, witch, that type of thing that we've grown up seeing for Halloween. I decided to check out some of the different cryptids from Latin American cultures, and there are so many cool horror figures outside of our normal traditional choices from the US and Western Europe. They're not explored enough at all. And plus, I'm trying to learn more about that part of my family background, and so this was a really fun way to do so. So I got online and I pored over a lot of different legends and horror stories, including one of the most popular ones, La Llorona, as well as a figure who was kind of like the woman in black, except I think she's found by like bodies of water and whales a lot or something. But one thing I noticed is that a lot of female horror figures in Latin American stories, they all seem to be women who were wronged by men or lost their babies, which I guess makes sense for the time they were created, but they weren't super inspiring to me on their own. But then I stumbled upon the figure El Sombreron, which in English is the man with the large hat, and I was really captured by his legend. The story is originally from Guatemala, but there is a version of it in Mexican cultures as well. And basically, El Sombreron is a man who is short, wears a large hat, a sash, and gaudy jewelry. and is known for stalking individuals at night. Some versions say that once he zeroes in on a victim, he latches onto their very soul and strangles the life out of the person. I've seen other versions where he's essentially that version, the Latin American version of the boogeyman. And I didn't have time to read a full story about him, but in my head I imagine him having a sort of charming and mischievous yet menacing demeanor, and that personality really intrigued me. It's also a type of character that I'm not typically cast in for different film projects, so I was eager to explore a character like that. I've gotten a lot of encouragement from mentors and other friends of mine to put together stories of my own that I can cast myself in. And really, that's a popular thing for a lot of actors to do right now. There's a story that I've had ruminating in my head for literally years, like since I was 13 probably, and the antagonist of that story is a corrupt queen in an alternative fantasy realm. Naturally, I pictured myself playing the queen, but based on how I characterized her, I always had this fear that producers, directors, or even the potential audience wouldn't find me convincing enough to play her. I worried that my height would make it too hard to ever come across as intimidating, or that I couldn't overcome my resting nice face. And some of those anxieties have died down over the years, but up until this point I was still uncertain. I'm very happy to say, though, that doing this photo shoot allowed me the freedom to play around with those sorts of tones for myself, and I've gotten such awesome feedback from the photographers I worked with, as well as friends, family, and followers who've seen the final images. I'm going to share some of my final images here, but first, here's the story that I came up with of my version of El Sombreron. This is La Sombreron, the woman with the large hat. Legend has it that a short, alluring woman wearing decadent jewels on her hands and feet can be spotted sipping on mezcal by herself in the darkest corners of bars. She is known as La Sombreron, or the woman with the large hat. Whether she picks her victims or her victims pick themselves is unknown, but before they know it, they are drawn into her with lovely conversation and a deep yet strange connection. She suggests they go on a walk in the night, and that is the last time her targets are ever seen. One person claims to have seen La Sombreron herself while out in the middle of the night. He spoke of her large green eyes darkening to pitch black coal as she stalks closer to her prey, announcing that this is the consequence for the people they have hurt in their lives. She then presses her hand to their chest and draws their very soul out of their body, causing their body to instantly disintegrate to dust. Actions have consequences. Be a good person, otherwise you may be paid a visit by La Sombreron. This was such an amazing experience to be part of, especially for Portrait Slam's first session in Seattle. There's so many amazing photographers, and I am absolutely so excited to potentially work with them again in the future. And again, I am absolutely loving the fact that I was able to explore something new for myself. It's something that I definitely think I will be able to carry over into other roles that fit this sort of atmosphere. I feel like I've just unlocked like a new hidden part of myself. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, diary, hopefully there is more to come with this. Cheers and happy Halloween.